All right, everybody, welcome back. This is episode 2. I know that in the last episode I said that this would be episode 3. I said 2 in the last one, but this is actually the second full-length episode. So welcome back. I have a guest today. My guest, Michael, here is going to do a little introduction about himself, and then we're just going to roll into the content. This is the first episode that I've had a guest on since I've started the new format. So I'm shooting for about 35 minutes per episode. Anything longer than that, I think could be saved for a future episode. So going to try to keep it on theme. Mickey brought a couple of points to talk about here. I took a couple notes myself here, so we're just going to roll into it. But go ahead, Mickey, if you want to introduce yourself to the people, please.
Yeah, appreciate that. So I'm Mickey. I've been friends with Trav for about 10 years now since I graduated college, moved back to Metro Detroit area. We started playing basketball. And I'm also a single dad, gamer, athlete. So we have a lot of stuff in common there. Try to think of myself as versatile, adaptable, like you said in the last episode. And something big with you is you've helped me try to be more accountable for myself. Part of why I'm here. And that's kind of like what's bringing me here is I've thought we've always had good banner. I was interested in doing this with you before when you talked about it when you were streaming. And like you said, you got to start somewhere, and it's not hard, it's new. So those that's two big things you always say, and that's why I'm here. So let's appreciate you letting me be on here.
Somebody asked, and I was here by myself talking to myself last time, but if you look over there on the wall, you can literally see that it's not hard, it's new. It's been on my wall since, I think it's been like 2019. So that wasn't just something I came up with. Somebody asked about it, and I told them I couldn't even remember where I got that from. Usually I can, like I said, remember the little videos or quotes or whatever it is. I can usually pick where I got it from. I have no idea where I got those from, but at the time those all mattered to me. And I don't even, it's like second nature. They're all sitting up there now, but it's not hard. It's new. Progress isn't linear. Freedom and discipline. If you can't be someone's son, try not to be their dark clouds either. And the last one's like, I can't read it from that far away, but if you want to look good in front of thousands, you have to
outwork thousands in front of front of nobody.
Yeah. But yeah, no, those things really worked for me, and I lay them on you all the time, probably too many times, but
no. But no, the other thing I do want to thank you, letting me be a part of your passions.
Of course.
It's not just this. It's joining you on your stream, invite me on your basketball team. You've kind of always done that. I'm always invited to family events, so appreciate that. And also just like, honestly, being a good friend to me. I know I sent you the notes and that I have that in there, but you've been there for me for real good times, the real bad times. You hit me between the eyes when I need to, and or when I need to hear it, and I just appreciate it. And that's kind of why I thought of the good topic for today.
Yeah, no, I've never been the type to not say what I'm thinking or not give advice. That's one that I saw recently. It was like, it was the Aaron Rodgers one. A lot of folks around here not huge fan of Aaron Rodgers, but he was saying, I don't know.
Is it the one about the criticism?
Yeah, yes. Like don't ask for advice from somebody that you wouldn't take their criticism or vice versa.
Yeah, don't worry about criticism from someone who you would never ask for advice.
That's it. Yep. But
yeah, no, I saw Aaron Rodgers said it. I thought the same thing. Damn, that's a good line.
Yeah, no, it definitely is. But yeah, man, that's kind of why I again wanted to start this. For those of you that are watching on YouTube, eventually these will be on podcasting apps, but when you're watching on YouTube, production value is not super high. The sound's usually fairly crispy. This is really great audio equipment, but the little behind the scenes, like the effort that I've had to put into editing and there's not much editing. I just trim off the ends and add a little stinger, but like that, and then making the thumbnail took, the longest part is ripping it out of Sony Vegas into so that it's an MP4 file, and that takes the longest by far, which is just waiting. The rest took 15-20 minutes, and I'm like, why did I stop doing this? It's something that I like to do. With streaming too, it was always just easier to do because everything was preset. All I have to do is walk over there in the same program I'm recording in, just hit start, and it runs. So I just always wanted to do this, to have something, just thoughts and conversations and share with people, because that is kind of the resounding theme of why I've been doing that, or doing this. It's just like listening to other people's experiences does help me a lot. So having somebody connect with my experiences, if it can help anybody, is huge too.
Yeah, and I mean, that's even something where, like you were saying, like, why'd I wait so long? Like, when you did this before, and I know you mentioned in the pilot, like, I've talked to a couple other people, like, once or twice, and that was it. I was one of the people that dragged my feet and asked you, how many times did I ask you, like, what should we talk about? What do you want? And you're like, literally anything, dude. Bring a topic. Like, let's talk. We can talk. We can banter. Called you today for a question on a chord on my computer, and we talked for 5 minutes about it, and I was just like, all right, I just got to get there. And so, dude, I'm the same way. It's been a lot of things with that, like you said, rolling one thing into another. I've been doing it. The same thing with fitness that you've been doing. That, and I got to work on the diet.
Momentum building. It really is. The other one that's bad for me too is like hyper fixating on problems. That one's really been hard to overcome lately for me. Is like when you hyper fixate on your problems, they become more prevalent, even when they're really no bigger. They're just bigger in your mind.
Give me an example.
Like work, for example. Like work, I think I mentioned a little bit. I alluded to the fact that work, not so happy in my work situation, but I didn't want to go too deep into it since that is my current employer. But like the more I hyperfixate on it lately, the more I'm like, yeah, I'm ready to quit. Yeah. When it's in all reality, expressing gratitude is a way more beneficial. I do have a job. I do have an employer. I have benefits and 401k and things that a lot of people don't have. So that's huge. Right.
Shots fired.
That's huge. Like gratitude's huge as well, but it's easy when you're unhappy with something to just focus on it and make it a bigger problem than it actually is.
Right. I said that because I'm currently unemployed. So shots fired to me. Yeah. But I get that. And that's kind of the other thing for me is like you said, where it's like how much time something took. For me, it's even little things like cleaning something up. And I'm like, this is so much better. I cleaned up the basement today, and it took me maybe an hour.
Yeah.
And every time I've walked down there today, I'm like, why did I wait so long? This is so much better. And it's just, but something I've been trying to do is just everything I do when I'm finish something, I try to keep that like that's my new baseline. Mm. So whether it's, riding my bike as many miles as I can, like I'm trying to set a new baseline and improve from there. So even if it's a little bit of improvement, but same with little things like cleaning and organizing and sleep schedule and stuff like that. So
that's a good one too. Do you know who Nicky Cass is? He's an Instagram guy. He makes like ridiculous like Italian like he imitates like Italian people. Okay. He's Italian, and he'd be like he does the pizza shop, or he does like baseball coaches. He'll have like a pillow under his shirt and be like imitating a high school baseball coach. He's hilarious. But he was saying, I was watching a video about him talking about like his routine is everything, and so like making it routine or making it your new baseline is pretty huge. And that's been for me lately too. Just how I've been kind of rolling momentum together. It's just started with walking because I was way out of shape, and then walking turned into like diet, like watching diet, like clean diet, then tracking everything in diet started, and then dog steroids started, and then yeah, just like going to the gym, lifting weights because of that, and it's just like rolling one thing into the next really does. You really do start building momentum for yourself, which is huge.
Yeah, I actually, one thing, Calvin, since we brought up Aaron Rodgers, let's bring it back to Calvin. Calvin Johnson said, I think it may have been on a podcast or some interview where he was just talking about how when he was getting better, it was just, they were like, how did you become one of the greatest? And he's like, just stacking good days. You know, good things are going to happen, bad things are going to happen. But if you can overall say that you had a good day and then you can do it again and you just make one day, take it one day at a time and stack good days, like, you know, you're going to do good. And that's kind of how I felt even about the little stuff.
Yeah, I've been doing that a little bit to myself, like self-sabotaging a little bit back in school. I got 2 college classes right now. One's a cybersecurity class and one's a networking class. And I made a built-in excuse for one of the classes. And I got stuck on one of the, like, it's like a lab, essentially, like making a network. And I got stuck. And I was like, oh, we got class tonight. I'll ask. No big deal. Then the professor canceled class. So then I was like, damn it. And then I procrastinated till the next class. And then I put myself like 3 labs behind. And I did them today. And it took like an hour.
Total.
Yeah.
Not
I was
each.
like,
Total.
wow. Yeah, because it's like the networking class, like repetition. It's like built-in repetition. It's for Cisco. It's a Cisco networking class. So it's like built-in repetition. So literally the 3 that I was backed up were literally the same thing. They just gave you less instruction by the third one. Like you had no instructions by the third one. Mm-hmm. It was like, do this instead of step 1, step 1B. So yeah, no, that's for sure. For sure. Sometimes you can just, a lot of times too, like for me, like anxiety is just like a lack of action.
Yeah.
I feel that. It's just like a lack of action where you're just like,
what do you always call it? Decision paralysis.
Decision paralysis is, yeah. I strongly try to avoid decision paralysis these days. Just like this, right? Like we could have just been talking about what to talk about forever instead of just going and doing. They say too that in business, that's why some of the dumbest people just go up the quickest, because they have no fear of rejection or failure. They just go and do.
Yeah.
And not saying that I'm some brainchild, but also I do feel like I think a lot of things deeply, and then it puts me kind of behind.
That reminds me that we've already had the conversation, the video of the guy who is making fun of the people who are so fascinated with the latitude and longitude.
Yeah.
And they're like, no way, it's a portal to another part of the world. The guy's freaking out. It's a grid system. Just did, like, honestly, like the bliss of ignorance sometimes. Like, man, I do wonder what that's like, but, you know.
Yeah, I can't do it.
No, there's no way.
Somebody said that about work. Because I've been struggling a little bit with work and just the leadership's not great and things like that. And somebody was like, just stop. Just stop working. And I was like, what? And they were just like, yeah, just do nothing. And I'm like, I can't do nothing at work because it's and this, I've been answering this on interview questions too. And I think I told you, it's just, somebody was asking, like, how do you stay motivated and organized at work? And I started answering it by saying, I'm at work for 8 hours a day. Like, staying organized at work overflows into home. Yeah. Like, and it's the same concept. Like, if I'm a lazy sack of shit for 8 hours at work, I'm naturally just going to be a lazy sack of shit when I get off work. It's not like, I don't know. The people that have like the on off switch is impressive. I just don't have that, I guess. I
don't get the whole, I mean, I'm with you there. It's not like I'm like conserving energy for home. Like, oh yeah, I got to be lazy at work today, so that way when I get home, I can be real productive. Like, never happens that way. Yeah.
Wait till 5 hits. I'm going to reorganize the house. Like, that doesn't happen. I just feel like being organized, like, it does ring true that, it does flow over naturally. Same with, it's just like anything, the people you hang out with, or things you're immersed in. Just naturally
and
rolls
it could
over.
like you said, also what I was saying about the stacking good days, like, dude, you have a productive day at work, you're just like, dude, I gotta keep this going.
Yeah,
because that's another thing for me. Like, I feel almost like the motivation comes in waves, and that's why when you were talking about rolling one thing into another, I was like, yeah, I should do that. Like, just go. And I mean, even when I'm cleaning, I'm like, the second I sit down, it's over. So I just keep picking stuff up, keep going until it's like I run out of time or something. It's just,
I think it was Higher Up Wellness that I was watching that had something along those lines too. He was talking about motivation and how it's like a fleeting thing, and if you wait till there's motivation, you'll never do it. And he said the way he does things is like, if he wants to do it, he does it, and then if he doesn't want to do it, he definitely does it. Because like, if he doesn't want to go to the gym, like, he definitely goes. Or if he's like, I don't want to clean, he definitely does. Like, he just forces himself to do it. I mean, sometimes it probably gets you in trouble, but overall, I mean, like, for sure, like, I don't want to go to the gym. Okay, well, we're going.
yeah.
All those guys are like, all those high functioning women and men that are like that are just like, yeah, I'm doing it.
Well, you said the Kobe thing. I don't know if that was to me or if that was on the last episode, where it's just like, don't negotiate with yourself.
Yeah.
You make a contract with yourself. Don't negotiate. Like, dude, what good is it going to do you? Like, there's no point.
Nothing.
So, kind of, I've been doing that when I lift and work out and stuff. Like, I'm like, telling myself, even if it's like basketball, I'm like, all right, I'm going to make 10 shots in a row. And then I make like 8 and miss. And I'm like, it's not bad. And I'm like, no, I said I was going to make 10. So, it is a mentality, it is a mindset. And I know we've talked about that a lot in the past, changing kind of our mindsets and a lot with the things we've experienced the last 5-10 years of knowing each other. And I don't know.
Yeah, no, my mindset does definitely have to shift. That's with me. That's all my kids, because naturally you say diet, because like diet, people say diet, and it doesn't matter. Just because you're making healthier choices, you just say diet, even though it's not a crash diet or fad diet or anything. My kids, even they stopped at Dairy Queen. Alexis took them to Dairy Queen after dance, and I got a kid's cone with sprinkles. And she's like, he's on a diet. I was like, no, I just don't need a extra large Blizzard. It's just making smarter choices. And the mindset that I've been following is just like, I'm a healthy person now.
Yeah.
That's what I am.
Yeah.
Like, I don't need to eat a half a pizza when we get a pizza. Like, I don't need to eat, like, a drink diet soda. Like, it just made changes that stack up.
Yeah.
And, I'm on a diet, so I only get a kid's sprinkle cone.
Honestly, I did the last time I got like a medium or even like a medium Blizzard. I was like, this is too much. Like, this is honestly, I don't need this. By the time you get down to like the last quarter of it, you're just like, I bought it. I might as well.
My son, Dexter, is like, he's 50, 60 pounds maybe, and he gets a medium Blizzard and just slams. Like, jeez, Pete, man. Thinking about it now, it's like, it is crazy. That was just like, I'd eat like just normal. That was normal. That's like, that's baseline. It's just like, if we go to Dairy Queen, I'm getting a large Blizzard. Like, that's just insane. Thinking about it now, after, it's been like 4 months of eating pretty clean. It's like, that's wild.
Dude, same when you said half a pizza, like, dude, easily half a, like 10 years ago, I'm smashing half a hot and ready, no problem.
Yeah, and no, I would probably throw up. No, we were talking about that wild tangent, but we were talking about that the other day when we were talking about basketball, because we used to play basketball at 5 a.m. At the Livonia Rec. We used to play Call of Duty all night. Eat just like shit, like pizza, Doritos, whatever, and we would drive to McDonald's and open up the McDonald's at 5, get McDonald's breakfast, and then go play basketball with no sleep.
The all-nighter for basketball.
The Call of Duty all-nighter into the basketball all-morninger.
I would have died.
Yeah. No,
There's
it
no
was.
way.
Yeah, that was a problem. That's stupid.
Dude, I couldn't imagine that now. I'd be like, all right, yeah, basketball's not gonna happen. I don't even think I'd make it to basketball. It wouldn't
No.
even be that. Like I'm saying, like I'd get halfway through all the Doritos and everything and be like, all right, I'm done, guys. I gotta lay down.
Yeah, the amount of sugar, just straight 12 packs of Mountain Dew, just hanging out. Yeah, that was a problem. That was a problem for sure.
Well, do you want to talk about the question I got?
Yeah, what do you got?
All right, it's so what do you think about, or what do you think of when you hear someone's a good friend? So like what quality, like 3 qualities that you, if you're like this person's a good friend, or like you know.
Good friend. That's a good question. I would say things that make a good friend. We're talking about like what endears you to somebody, or
Like all right, so for the first one I got, because I put 3 down that I was thinking of. So the first one I did say honest, and again using you as the example, like Travis will hit you between the eyes, and he knows it. He'll be the first to admit it, but he wants the best version of yourself, and so he's gonna push you to be better. And like that's not even just like me, who, I mean, I'd say we're pretty close. Like even people who you're not that close with, you're friends with them. If they come to you for help, like you're not sugarcoating it. You're gonna call someone out on it, and you know, I think that's important in a good friend, because there were a lot of times that you told me stuff that I didn't want to hear.
Yeah,
but I needed to hear it. You know what I mean? And if I didn't, I could still be in those bad situations. So that's like one of the things I was talking about.
That's for sure. That's a good one. I would say that's probably up there. I think humor is up there.
Especially for your friend group.
You have to be like, whatever it is, like you have to be attracted to that person somehow, whether it's like shared interest, like humor's, I feel like humor is universal. Like it stays with you forever.
Yeah.
Humor's a good one. Honesty's a good one. What else? I feel like loyalty is kind of cliche, but like, I don't know. You
that was one of mine.
That's like, you're kind of like loyal to people, and it doesn't have to be like we fly the same flag type thing. It's just like, you know, you're there for somebody no matter what the time.
That's what I said.
The timeline is, or the amount of interaction is. It doesn't have to be like, friendship doesn't have to be transactional. We do live in a world where like transactional relationships are a real thing. Like people are like, what do I get from you if I interact with you? But like, I try to think about, I try to detach that from that, because you see a lot of times people are like, you know, well, I turned off my phone and, you know, nobody reached out, or I turned off my social media and nobody reached out. It's like, nobody owes you a fucking thing, man. Like the phone works 2 ways. So
I remember you talking about that. That was a couple of years ago. That was kind of when we were like both really big into talking about bettering ourselves and self-reflection. Yeah. You were like, that we live in a transactional world and you just have to detach yourself from it.
Yeah, it's hard. It's definitely hard when there's like transactions or everything, you know, whether it's like bills or buying things, or I'm taking this class to learn this, or you know, anything. Microtransactions are in everything now too. Like it's everything. You know, it's your birthday, you expect a gift, like it's all.
Yeah, are you gonna slide that little thing that says what percent tip I gotta put on to be on the show?
20%. That's it. But yeah, no, those are good ones. What was your third one?
Well, because the what I said was like the faithful, like we'll have your back. Like, dude, we both been in like situations,
that's a
bottom of the barrel, where it's like no questions asked. Like, what was the movie? Is it The Town, when he's like, we're gonna hurt someone? And help, and he just says, "What car are we taking?" Yeah. Like honestly, like I'm pretty sure we had a moment like that where you were like, "Dude, hey, we got something going on." And I was like, "All right, let's let me know what we got to do." And you resolved it on your own. But
adult friendship is weird too.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I mean, just friendship in general is weird. It's like, I'm just gonna hang out with this person forever.
Dude, yeah. How we became friends, we were just playing basketball, and one of us opened Clash of Clans, and the other person was like, "Oh, you like a kid. You got games on your phone?
Shared interest.
You
There
got
it
games?"
is.
So yeah.
2 shared interests. That's all it takes. That's all it takes for men to be friends. 2 shared interests.
Was that it?
Yeah. And then you're in.
Hey, I'll take it.
That's it.
The third one I had was reliable, so it's kind of part of it where it's just,
Yeah.
and I did say, I got in my notes, like, dude, you've definitely been there for me in my highest of highs and my lowest of lows, and even like small stuff, like, dude, you built one more computer than me, and I'm like, hey, I have a question about my computer. Like, that's it. I'm like, hey, let me ask you a question on this cord.
Yeah.
Yeah. Try the cord. Yeah, you're right.
No, those are all good ones. Yeah, I can't think. I don't know. That's a weird question. That's one I haven't really thought about before.
Just like, yeah, like what qualities, and maybe not like what you look for, but like if someone just like, like I would be like, Trav's one of my good friends.
A lot of my. I was trying to think. Just like, just ripping through all of my close friends as I've gotten older. I'm like, what do they have in common? And it's usually just like a shared hobby, and they're funny.
2 shared hobbies.
They have two shared hobbies, and they're hilarious, and they're fucking like dark humor.
Yeah, the dark humor. That's like you said, that's a shared interest. We all I mean, this friend group, you gotta be ready to take it.
Those are good ones.
You gotta it's coming. It's not a matter of if, it's just like when. When's it gonna be your day? Just like,
Yeah, God forbid you say something incorrect. You're going to get crucified.
Game over.
Yeah.
Check all the pronunciation before I talk.
Did you have it phonetically spelled in your note there?
No, absolutely not. But I did use the phonetic alphabet when I was in customer service.
Oh,
I
yeah.
Specifically remember doing that.
I did use that as well. It was on my notepad. That's good, man. I appreciate you saying that. Those are qualities that I don't know. Thank the people that taught me, I guess. And just effort.
Yeah.
It's what I teach my kids now. It's like I teach my kids that effort's universal currency. Speaking of the job and people telling me not to work, like I feel like I have a very good gauge of when somebody's giving effort and not, and it's very easy to tell. Well, for me at least. Some people you can get tricked, I guess, but most of the time you can really tell when somebody's trying, or this conversation, or if you're doing a job together, or you're in a romantic relationship. You feel like you can really tell when somebody is willing to give forth effort, and it's pretty much universal to anything you do.
Yeah.
Friendship, relationship, sports.
There's that other God, I just remember it was like right around the time of my divorce. You sent me a video that was like the lady who she was talking about when she comes home from work with her husband, and she's like, I got 40% today. Like, it's not always 50-50, and that is, like you said, any relationship, even like a work relationship. Like, some days, like, you got some days you got 20%, and someone's got to meet, like, there's no meet in the middle. Like, someone needs to make it to 80, otherwise, like, we're not firing on all cylinders, and what are you going to do about it?
Or we punt and wait for tomorrow. Yeah. That's it. That's it.
No, and then the effort. I know I've told you this 100 times about how it's messed me up between what you and your dad said to me within a month span of basketball. Dude, we were playing basketball in a league, and I was frustrated because I wasn't shooting well. And I'm swearing and slamming my shoes at the end of the game, and Travis was like, what do you expect? You come 15 minutes before the game once a week, shoot 20 shots. Sometimes you play pickup basketball on the weekend too. You think you're going to get better? That's the reps that you're going to get better. You're mad about that? Put the time in.
Yeah.
And then your dad, same thing. I was frustrated and said, this is what I tell all my kids when I coached them. Meaning there were kids. Did you feel like you gave it your all? And I was just like, oh. Like, I was like, no, I didn't. And honestly, I've taken that mindset. I started playing ice hockey. I told you that. And so one of my cousins came up to me. Literally, we're on the bench, and he's like, you're really skating hard out there. I'm like, yeah. I'm not going to get better. Like, I'm one of the worst guys. I'm new. Like, I'm not going to get better if I go out there and give a half-ass effort. Like I have to try. I want to get better. I want to get the reps in. So it's been those things have stuck with me.
Yeah. No, that's just stuff I grew up
Wisdom.
with.
There you go.
Yeah.
There's another good friend. Wise.
Yeah, that is a good one. Yeah, no, those are just things I grew up with, and they stuck with me. Just can't be mad. Can't be mad at you if you fall to the levels of your preparation. You don't.
Yeah.
You always fall to the levels of your preparation. So when you're not doing well, you can look back and be like, did I actually put in enough effort to be mad at myself?
It messes you up,
No.
man.
All right. Well, then I better try harder.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that one's a hard one. That one's
Because that's
good.
not just sports, man. That's everything. That's work. That's, like you said, putting the effort into a relationship, putting effort into cleaning up at the house. Like,
yeah. I feel like that's probably another good friendship trait is maybe it depends on which friends you're talking about, but like an emotional intelligence at some level is important. Being able to like introspectively look at yourself and be like, maybe I could do this better.
Yeah.
Or like have hard conversations.
Yeah.
Too is a good one. A lot of people don't want to have those.
Yeah, that's why I said you with the honesty. And I know you specifically said like, yeah, hit people between the eyes with it. Like
Yeah.
I know that's what you got to hear. So
I'd rather you know now.
yeah.
Than somebody tell you later.
Honestly, there were a couple things. You weren't the only one. A couple other people told me things that I was like, even if I had ignored it and didn't hear it then, dude, it was in the back of my mind for years, and I was just like couldn't get it out of my head. So it's a good thing.
That is. What else you got on that note there?
I got other topics to talk about, but there was just kind of stuff building off of the things that you talked about in your last episode. And we've talked a little bit, either like self-reflection, working on yourself, or like importance of a good culture.
What did you think of the first? Did you listen to both?
Yes, of course.
Yeah. Yeah. What did you think of the second one about the workplace?
You mean episode 1,
Yeah,
not episode 2?
The second film, the second recording, the first episode. Yes, episode 1.
It was good. I mean, that's where I got some of these notes from. Just like kind of listening to it. I mean, it was good. It was, I know your career for the most part. I think I met you after AutoZone.
In style, yeah.
So, I kind of was aware of what was going on, but I mean, pretty accurate. And I don't know, like I see, because my work experience was different, but I remember telling you specifically that the thing that messed me up was I always thought it was going to be like something more professional, something more, I'm not, you said you work with idiots. You said that about your dad with the cop.
Yeah. Think of the dumbest person they have a job somewhere at whatever company you're working for.
And I always thought like, oh, well, once I get out of this entry level position, once I get out of this, well, now there's someone I know who is training people who there's no way.
Yeah.
She was coming to me for help every day. And I was stuck in a position where I got laid off, and she's like training new people into the company. I'm like, that's a nightmare. Like someone was telling me about her training, and she was like, oh yeah, she'll like she's like calling out people on their wrong answers and trying to make them explain why they're wrong. And it's just like so like discombobulated.
Oof.
And I'm like, she's like, it's like a horror. Like no one wants to talk now and volunteer anything. And it's like, I was like, that's horror, especially for someone who was like always asking for help. Like, where do I start on this? Like, dude, you just so. I always thought the next step, it's going to be so much better once I'm out of food service. Oh, okay, now I'm working for Blue Cross Blue Shield. All right, this is going to be so much better. All right, well, I'm in entry level in customer service. And it really wasn't. That's why I do like what you said about the effort, because it is just, you have to, it's going to be the same. You're going to sit down at a table of executives and you're going to be like, this person's an executive, okay,
Yeah, I mean, I have, like I said, people could see this from my work and stuff, so I'll leave names and things out of it. But somebody that is positions above me, I'm creating a standard operating procedure guide for the training team, and like this little tweak in language, like they talk about, like you can't teach leadership. You for sure can teach some parts of it, because like this, they said. Yeah, we need to get this guide going so that when one of you leaves or quits, we have something for the next person. Not, and this is how I train in the workplace too. It's like, now see how that sounds? Now see how this sounds. We need to get a standard operating procedure guide going so that when you guys get promoted within the company and move on to bigger and better things, we have a training guide in place to bring up the next person to fill your void. You see how different that sounds?
Yeah.
I am not in a position of leadership, which I should be in this company, but somebody who claims to have 10 years of leadership experience told us when you quit you get a degree and leave.
You inevitably leave, because
the way, like, it's leadership's not that crazy hard. It's just like investing in the people that are around you isn't that hard.
You've always been a natural.
Some people make it so hard.
I mean, I do think there's some intangibles with leadership.
There is, for sure.
It's tough for you to see some of that. I mean, you can admit it, but like, you know that. I'll never forget the deserted island comment. If our friend group was on a deserted island, who would be the leader? And without hesitation, one of our buddies was like, Travis. Who else would it be? And I was like, whoa, we had no discussion on this, and everyone was like, oh yeah, it would be Travis.
No parameters, no guidelines. It's him.
It's just like, yeah, Travis. That's what do you mean? So,
well, I think that's a good segue to end it. We're right. We're right at the time that I said in the beginning. And like I said before, I'd rather hold them to shorter and get people to watch or listen and see where it goes. So that's kind of the idea. So we're right at about, I think that was about 40 minutes. So one quicker than I thought it would. Like I said, I was able to talk to myself for 20 minutes in the last one. So,
there's a picture of him back behind the camera, so he's literally talking to himself. You guys just can't see it.
It's a cardboard cutout. But yeah, man, thanks for joining. I appreciate all the kind words too. But that's it. That's our time for today. Thank you guys all for watching. Please like, subscribe, drop a comment. When we get to 5 episodes, the plan is to post everything on the podcast apps. So Spotify, Apple, that is the ideal once we get to 5 episodes. So pilot and then 4 episodes after. So this is episode 2. So after 2 more, we should be able to get on all the podcasting apps as well. But thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.
Peace.